Hello, I am the co-founder of a new startup company called One Community Worldwide. While this company is inclusive for all of humanity, it has been created in a way that Generation Z and the Millennials will understand and embrace, while at the same time Generation X and the baby boomers may find it harder to embrace due to societal thoughts or what I call outdated paradigms in reality. In short, this new way of business, which I call Gen Now, brings meaning back into doing business. I will elaborate on this topic in my next video, but for now I wanted to share with you our brief, which we wrote to provide a deeper understanding of our philosophy. It too, as a business investor, it answers the question as to why. We believe every human being has a right to life, and in order to sustain life, one needs three basic necessities, which is food, water, and shelter. We also believe that the earth and its resources can not only provide all of humanity with these three basic necessities, but provide abundance for all. As you listen to this statement, most of you would disagree and be of the perspective in scarcity of resources, which has been the mass uproar since the beginning of time. The doomsday model of countless scientists, leaders, and politicians having predicted and spoon-fed us, saying our resources cannot be sustained by our population and future population growth. These claims have not only come and gone, but also the contrary. We are living in more abundant times than ever before. According to a book called Abundance, Americans living below the U.S. poverty line earn less than $10,400 per year, and they're light years ahead of the wealthiest Americans from just a century ago. Today, 99% of the Americans living below the poverty line have electricity, water, flushing toilets, and a refrigerator. 95% have a television, 88% have a phone, 71% have a car, and 70% have air conditioning. This may not seem by much, but 100 years ago, men like Henry Ford or Cornelius Vanderbilt were among the richest on the planet and yet enjoyed few of these luxuries. Poverty is subjective, especially when looked at through income. This is made clear by the significant gap between the international poverty line, described as the individual income less or equal to $390 per year, and the definition of the American poverty, which is $10,400 a year. We want to be clear that our definition is not based on money, but rather on the ability of any individual to satisfy their three basic necessities, food, water, and shelter, in the daily quantities needed to sustain life. And similarly, we do not believe abundance is all about fancy cars, extravagant homes, designer brand accessories, or providing anyone on earth with a life of financial and material luxury. Rather, our definition is about providing all with possibilities, which requires having the three basic necessities covered and the creation of abundance. Our four-tier pyramid model describes it best. The bottom tier is providing the three basic necessities needed for life, described above. The abundance part is having access to explore the second, third, and fourth tiers. The second tier, which is energy, education, communication, information, and health, allowing for future growth of an individual. The third tier, freedom, allows every individual to contribute to society and advance their communities. The fourth tier, higher consciousness, allows for advancement in humanity by the aptitude for global entanglement. Currently, there are thousands of organizations working towards providing the first tier of the pyramid each and every day to billions around the globe. Most of these organizations are set up in a dated way of thinking, which is primarily nonprofit and donation-dependent based models of reaching out and providing aid to those in poverty. While these organizations are giving with wonderful intentions and the need is real, the majority of the focus is on instant relief, leading to outcomes that we consider to be the sugar pill effect. What this translates into is the minute these organizations leave, the local people are either left with no sustainable solution to provide for their basic needs, or have not been integrated at the center of the programs in a manner that incentivizes long-term commitment and ownership. Unfortunately, our outdated strategies for philanthropy have caused large-scale dependency rather than empowerment. It's clear that people want to give and help others. However, a successfully sustainable model does not seem to exist to enable people to truly empower others long-term to bring themselves out of poverty. The problem of poverty is not about dependency only. Many contribute poverty to the scarcity of resources. However, we believe the problem is more due to a lack of accessibility and a lack of financial viability technologies. For example, 1 billion people currently lack access to safe drinking water, while the estimated 2 billion lack access to basic sanitation. However, the Earth itself is a water planet. About 71% of the Earth's surface is underwater. The problem is 97% of all water is far too salty for consumption or for crop production. So it's not an issue of scarcity. Rather, it's an issue of accessibility and technological financial viability. The question then becomes, how can we create technologies to remove the salt from the water in a cost-effective way? Another example can be found with our energy solution. Even if our planet ran out of oil, we are basking in sunlight. Approximately 175,000 terawatts of solar energy is hitting our atmosphere, with half of that being 87,000 terawatts reaching the Earth's surface each and every day. Humanity currently uses about 18 terawatts annually, meaning that there's over 5,000 times more solar energy reaching the Earth's surface daily than we use in a year. When we view our problems through the lenses of technology, our resources are mainly inaccessible, not scarce. Yet the threat of shortages still prevails our worldview. Viewing our planet as abundant in resources is a big change in paradigm for most people. Overcoming the psychological blocks, the skepticism, the pessimism, and all the other crutches of a glass half empty thinking is keeping many from believing in the possibility of abundance. One reason abundance remains hard to accept is because we live in an extraordinary, uncertain world and decision making in the face of uncertainty, which is not easy. What do we know is possible? Well, it's 8 billion with clean water, nutritious food, affordable housing, modern education, and non-polluting renewable energy. The concept of eliminating poverty and creating abundance by supporting a global, sustainably responsible economy has been in debate for decades. No one seems to have the solution, in large part because we struggle to find an existing example that has been proved successful in so massive of a scale. However, we believe that there is. From the dawn of human existence, our early theoretical scientists and spiritual leaders have used the similar words. The solution to one's problems can only be found from within. This statement cannot be further from the truth in providing the model for global, social, responsible change. Let me explain. The question is often asked, how can we provide and find a solution for taking care of the basic needs for everyone on this planet, knowing that there are over 8 billion people? Where do we find a model that works in this quantity? The answer, the human body. The human body comprised of between approximately 18 to 70 trillion individual cells, and each cell is a living organism, which has an exterior membrane that protects its internal components from the existing exterior forces, much like the human body. There are hundreds of different types of cells in the human body, and these trillions of cells work together to handle the ever-changing environment that the human body encounters. Does our body not deal with all social and economic problems we as humans deal with in our daily life? Does our respiratory system not gracefully handle pollution, Does our veins not work as food highways for nutrition to each and every cell in the body? Is there not a system for universal health care by way of the immune system? Is there not an effective system in the fair distribution of nutrients, water, and oxygen to every cell in order to make the greater whole of the human body function efficiently? Is our nervous system not the center for distributing information and processes, much like the internet? Does each cell have a specific job, a task to do? The list goes on and on. For every problem we as humans face today, we only have to look within for the answer. Our body is the perfect model of global, socially responsible economics, or what I call global individual harmony at its best. Our bodies are in pure harmony. Each individual cell is taken care of and does its individual tasks to add to the greater whole. However, we as humans have not yet learned this one vital piece that makes all of this actually work. Each cell asks and abides by one simple question: how can I help? And never asks, what's in it for me? But an example of what happens when an individual cell starts asking, what's in it for me? It creates destruction, inharmony, pain, and suffering. We call that cell by a name. We call it cancer. So how do we go about using our internal model to eliminate poverty and create global abundance? First, we need to start changing the way we think of ourselves and the connection to the world by creating a platform that encourages unity, oneness, and understanding that by helping others, we in turn are helping ourselves. One Community Worldwide is an interconnected community of business divisions working together to help solve world poverty by assessing, addressing, implementing, maintaining, and supporting new businesses within impoverished communities one at a time. We do this through renewable resources, new technologies, our focus on individual empowerment, and shifts in paradigms bringing higher consciousness, which in turn creates economic and social change, long-term collaborative solutions, and sustainable growth. By developing and implementing business models that solve impoverished problems one community at a time, we look to ensure individual ownership and therefore community self-sufficiency. The 5 business divisions of One Community Worldwide are selected to directly address the 4-tier pyramid previously described. One Grow division focuses on agriculture, food, nutrition, and improving efficiencies in current farming practices while further developing new, more efficient farming by utilizing new technologies such as vertical farming, hydroponics, and aquaponics. One Residential division focuses on efficiency in building practices through the development of self-supporting shelters or tiny homes and developing communities that use renewable energies, sustainable building products, and eco-friendly sanitation alternatives. The One New Technologies division focuses on developing cohesion, encouraging collaboration, and incentivizing new innovation solutions to agriculture, clean water, energy, communication, education, and health. The One Global Empowerment division focuses on directly managing and implementing solutions surrounding global poverty and the achievement of global abundance. It oversees the interconnected communities of business divisions founded on the 4 main principles, including assisting in the development of humanity, the integration of renewable resources and new technologies, the fostering of global collaboration, and the capital participation for the purpose of global individual empowerment. And the last division is the One Life Center, which will work directly with the One Global Empowerment division in finding the impoverished communities and leaders. The center will focus on awareness by bringing religious, spiritual, New Age thought leaders from local, national, and international regions together to discuss our role in the universe and how we are more alike and yet diverse. It will offer avenues of creating oneness, harmony, and individual empowerment, as well as fostering changes in existing paradigms to assist in the advancement of humanity. One Community Worldwide is an organization of people and enterprise that understands the connection we all have with each other, our communities, and the world. We see the power in giving back in the form of economic development through local empowerment, not just aid. Those individuals and companies who would like to participate in the movement may help one community worldwide by means of capital investment, monetary donations, a business owner's time and mentoring, or a company that offers financial sponsored time off to employees whose expertise can be utilized abroad. The more we start each day by asking ourselves, how can I help, and actually doing it in a sustainable manner, the closer we will be to a global individual harmony and living as one abundant community worldwide. If interested in learning more, please contact me at Gary@onecommunityworldwide.com.